Last night we were at our favorite market down the hill, and they had an amazing sale going on. Brown onions, 10 pounds for 99 cents, if you can believe that. Jalapenos and carrots were both 3 pounds for $1. The thing is, if you don't know how to preserve onions or jalapenos or carrots, how many can you realistically buy and use before they go bad? Onions will last a little longer, but jalapenos especially will go bad fairly soon. So I want to discuss with you one of my favorite ways to preserve, locto-fermentation. I enjoy locto-fermentation because not only does it make the produce last longer, but it also increases the nutrient content. I've done other lacto-fermentation videos for other people's channels, but today here in my kitchen I want to show you one of my favorite combinations, which is a spicy mixed vegetable. And in this I'm going to use carrots and onions and jalapenos. I do it sometimes with garlic also. I do like to add cilantro sometimes to give it that nice fresh kick to it. The smaller that you cut your vegetables, the quicker the fermentation will go. I like to keep mine nice and big. You can see that the onions are in nice big slivers there. And I've got thick slices of both the carrots and the jalapenos. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a nice half-gallon mason jar. And we're going to start with the carrots on the bottom because they're nice and heavy. Once you get a good layer of carrots in there, you're going to take about a half a teaspoon of sea salt and sprinkle it in on top. And you're going to start your next layer of vegetables. Now I've got a good layer of jalapenos in there, and we're going to come back with about another teaspoon of sea salt on top of those. And we're going to go with our layer of onions. So we've got a good layer of onions, and we're going to come back again with another around a teaspoon of sea salt. Some people like to use more salt, some people like to use less salt. You just need to make sure that you have enough in there that no bad bacteria will grow. So now we're going to come back and do some more layers. Completely filled. You can see I have salt on the top. In this half gallon I have about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of sea salt. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the lid on it. And we're going to let it sit for between 6 and 12 hours to let a lot of the liquid come out of the vegetables themselves. Once that happens and you notice that the volume has started to decrease, you're going to go ahead and fill that with some filtered water. Make sure that the water covers all of the vegetables, and then you're going to put the lid on top and let it sit and start fermenting. Now this is what it'll look like after about a week on the counter. This one is fully fermented right now. It is very tasty. You can see that there is a bit of a cloudiness to the water, to the liquid, the brine, and that comes from the moisture being pulled out of the vegetables and the lactobacillus bacteria that's growing in there and making it all nice and tasty. As it's fermenting, you are going to want to check it every day to make sure there is no scum growing on the top. That would be bad. And you also want to make sure to release the pressure that the fermentation process will produce by unscrewing the lid once or twice a day and letting that gas out. Now what can you do with this? You can do a lot of things with this spicy mixed vegetable. You can put it on top of a salad, you can put it in some rice pasta or just on top of some rice. You can do lots and lots and lots of things with this, but because this is the frugal kitchen, we wouldn't just want to stop there with this. What can we do with the brine when we're done using vegetables? Well, a lot of our ancestors would have pickled eggs in a brine like this. And in my family, I grew up with pickled eggs, and that's something that we sometimes do. You can also, when you are cooking beans, you can add the brine to the beans to add some extra flavor. You can also add the brine to bread. Instead of adding salt and water, you can use the brine with the flour. and the starter if you're making a sourdough, or the yeast if you're making standard. The point is, you can use every last bit of this. You're not wasting anything, and from very inexpensive and seasonal produce, you've made something very tasty that will last a very long time. See you next time.